Hey guys, how's it going? So I am back. Now, I know, peculiar. Wow, Counter's back. Didn't expect him to be back. Well, quite frankly, I didn't expect to be back either. And, circumstances have caused me to have lower quality audio recording, but higher quality video recording. So, y'all kind of got a switcheroo here. And as soon as I can, I'll try to get a half decent mic. But until then, y'all will have to suffice with this. Now, let me explain a few things here before I jump into, ye old video. So the reason why I left, obviously, if you're not caught up on any dramas, I got kicked off of the admin team for Shoppa, which was the main server that I played. I played other servers, and I'm like, as soon as I got kicked off, I'm just like, I'm just gonna be done. So as you can tell, it's been 10 months since I played, and quite frankly, haven't played a whole lot since then. But I just decided, you know what? I haven't done any recording, and I could record other games. And I have a new laptop, so I can record other games. I was thinking about maybe doing some Unturned, and I might actually in the future. But I was just like, it's just kind of a classic game in my opinion, Minecraft. And I probably get some shit for it, but it's whatever. It's just probably gonna be the last. Like, I usually go in like little jolts of playing the game and then not playing it for a long time. And so it's been a while since I've played, quite frankly. But I know there's a lot of people out there, and it's at least 50, that's for sure. People out there who watch my videos, and I get honestly probably a comment from one person at least every day saying, you should probably, make videos. I really enjoyed them. So I'm like, I might as well. And this is something, I found a game, and I've been playing it for a few weeks, so I got the hang of it a little bit. And this is a game that I think is pretty fun. And the reason why I played is, you'll see it if you've already read the title. It's a Dayz type game, and I've been enjoying it. It's just mindless fun. And I thought, if I'm playing it, I might as well record it because people want to hear me. I'm back to playing Minecraft again, at least for a little while. Guarantee it's not gonna last. At least not gonna last for a long time, just because this is one of those games that you can just get burnt out very easily on. So yeah, I'm back at least for probably a month or two. We'll see how things go. Maybe things will last longer. If my channel gains any traction whatsoever, maybe I'll go for longer, right? That's the dream. But for now it's just gonna be a little fun series, and then I might just end. So anyways, so that's the first thing. Can't remember the second thing. Don't exactly script my videos if you can't tell. So if I think of it, I'll bring it up. But for now, let's get into it. So here we go. Alright, so this is a server, Yomcraft. I was just looking for Dayz servers, quite frankly, because I was trying to think of the closest thing to MineZ, because I'm basically blacklisted from Shoppa. So I was like, nostalgia hit me one day, and I was like, you know what? What's the closest thing? So I was like, let's look up. Jesus Christ. So I was like, let's look up. Oh, people threw a whole bunch of stuff in my inventory. Don't want any of this. God, the frame rate drops. So I was like, what's the closest thing? And I am going to, at least for now, turn that off. What's the closest thing? God, this is the third time I've said it. What's the closest thing to MineZ? And so I looked up this server, and it seemed pretty similar. So, I'm like, alright, well, I'll try it. And you know what? I played it for a little while, and I'm like, this is actually pretty fun. And the server seems, the people on it aren't exactly, perfect. But it's a fun server. So I will be playing on an alt for the first few episodes at least, just to explain the basics. So once I'm done with that, explaining like the basics and stuff, I'm probably gonna go back to my counterattack account. My goodness, this lobby is super laggy with all the entities and stuff. I'll go to my counterattack account, which has other stuff, as you'll soon see. But for now, I'm gonna be playing on this alt just to show the basics, and the first few episodes will be like a tutorial, I guess, at least from my experience. And then kind of do like a little series, because I'm still relatively new at the game. I'm certainly have not been playing it long enough to be an expert, not even close. So I'll just explain what I know so far, and then I can learn with you guys, I guess. So yeah, we're gonna start off here. Pretty basic commands, all right? So first one we're gonna do, well, actually we could go through the actual tutorial, but then what's the point of this episode? So what we're gonna do, when you first come out, you're gonna spawn in through there, and yes, I'm using Optifine because you'll see why. There's a little cave, you'll walk up. So where we are right now is called the war zone. And basically the war zone's where you come, if you die, you spawn up there in the helicopter, then you just jump out and spawn in again. So the first command we're gonna do is /spawn, because that's the first command you're gonna have to do. And now we're gonna turn these commands back on, these settings back on. Alright, so we got some gear here. Now, as this is like Dayz, alright, you spawn in, and usually you won't have much. You might start with a little bit of gear from like a kit, but it's not going to be enough to do anything of any note. So when you spawn in, you'll spawn in at least near a city, if not inside a city. So when you first spawn in, you're going to be like, alright, you know, what's going on, where are you? You know, your mind's going to be going in 50 different directions. But the first thing you should just focus on is loot, alright? Look for chests and take pretty much everything. I'll tell you the things you shouldn't take. So we're looking around here now for some chests, and this is one from a police station. Actually, looks like a fire department, but you know, whatever. So we got some boots here and a pipe. So I'm gonna toss this out because that's what we got before, and that's pretty useless. So a pipe is obviously a weapon, and we're gonna be using it as a weapon. And these police boots are not bad, and I'm wearing my own head just for fun. So, you know, there's gonna be zombies. At least we'll see some soon. And I already had one from before, and I decided to keep it just for this tutorial in case anything happens. I see somebody, I could use it as a good tool, I'll call it. So food's a fairly big thing, but it's pretty easy to get once I show you guys how to get it. So a couple things here. Hard tack cracker obviously is not going to give much. Can of leftovers, 2 of them, and a bandage, and a cane. Now a cane we'll hold on to just for now until I show you guys how things work. So this server utilizes the swing time in a cool way with their weapons, at least. Since they have different weapons swing at different speeds. So this, I don't know how the pipe swings, but I know the cane's pretty slow. And different weapons have different damages, and you know, all this and that. There's 50 different things that everything has. Some weapons, some of the high grade weapons have perks, you know, this, that, and the other thing. So from that chest I took everything. Now what I got, a shirt, old dry raw meat, which we can cook, and I'll show you guys how to do that later. And well, the bandage I got before, I'll just stack that, talk about that stuff later. And a can of beans, so that's good. That can of beans is good. We want to Want to hold on to that for sure. Alright, supplies crate had nothing in it. I'm going to leave that chest there, because I want to check out the garage chest. So we're in a little residential. I'll give you guys, I know where we are right now. We're in, this is going to be New Haven right now. Actually, are we? No, we're not, are we? I don't know where we are, actually. Don't know if it's New Haven or Imperius. Doesn't matter. Not the point. Where we are is irrelevant right now. So another hardtack cracker and some rags. And speaking of that, I should probably show you guys this so you can fit your inventory. Always grab shirts and any articles of clothing that looks like it would break down into cloth, because it does. It breaks down into rags, which we can use for a lot of things. You guys will come to see. Mostly medical stuff, which in this is pretty important. Ooh, cure. Perfect. Man, we're just getting everything. Alright, pitchfork. We're gonna hold on to that. I'll show each weapon off. Just so why not? Alright, so we're gonna go through here. I might cut this video up if things get slow for a second. Might cut things, but since this first episode there's a lot to show, so I doubt I'll cut a whole lot from here. So we just entered into a hospital. Actually, I kind of just went by that real quick. You can tell it's a hospital because it's got a blue and white H over a blue background there. Pretty obvious if you've ever been to a hospital or know that hospital. The word starts with an H. Not hard to figure out. Defibrillator. I'm gonna leave that here, even though they are useful. Since I can't show it off right now, I might show it off in the future when I'm able to. There is. Alright, another bandage, rags, vitamin drink. That could come in handy. Alright, so once we start getting hungry here, I'll show you guys another med kit, rags. Man, we're just getting stacked up here. Hospitals are a good place to go. If you know where they are, they're always fantastic to go to for everything. I mean, you're going to need to heal up eventually. It's just going to happen. So you're going to want to hit up hospitals and get all the good stuff. Well, you guys... And now you see why I brought ye old weaponry. Alright. So, that was clearly a guy. Who was it? Excalibur. Well, I just jumped ahead probably 20 minutes there. Alright? 20 minutes I jumped ahead for that. But I would have died, so I had to. Alright, so whoa, did things just speed up there. Alright, so as you can just see, I guess I'll explain it now. Why not? Alright, so there's obviously guns because it's Daisy. And there is, on this server, over 200 different guns. Right? So I have an M4A1. And then it's got a something else on it called the ACOG site, which you can't actually see. But so with weapons, they all function basically the same. You right click to shoot, and you scope in with left, and you can see all the different things. So it's an M4A1 at the top, it's an assault rifle, it's the type. Setting is full automatic, ammo, medcal, and yeah. It's a primary. So there's primaries and secondaries. I'll get more into it, but that's just the basic for the weapon. Once we find more weapons, I'll go into it more. But I was not expecting to see that dude there. Obviously not. But kill him I have to, right? That's kind of the game. God, he's back. I could probably kill him again. Probably gonna have to. Unless I die. Alright, well, I guess I can show off dying here. Well, that's perfect. Alright. Yeah, XM8, of course. Alright, so we just died, obviously. So we're gonna jump down, and we're gonna do /spawn and spawn in again. Now this will be completely clear. I don't even have. This is all stuff I've just spawned with, so y'all don't have to worry about cheating or nothing here. All right, now we are at. I don't even know what town we're at. Doesn't matter. All right, loot up again. This is gonna happen, right? You're gonna die, and you're probably gonna die the first few times. You're gonna die quite often. Oh shoot. All right, well. So this weapon is obviously a baseball bat. You know, you hit people with it. Pretty basic. I mean, and I do have a started with a 9mm or M9, I guess. I've always called it 9mm. Anything down here? Ooh. Obviously can't go that way. Alright, so now they got, I mean, there's different types of food. There's different types of everything in this game. If there's one thing, there's gonna be more of it. So that includes weapons, food, melee weapons, healing things, I guess. Alright, and so then there is another aspect that I was going to try to describe. Well, at the hospital, obviously things didn't go as planned, so I shall have to show you guys now. And that is your water, because you do get thirst. You do get thirsty. And you get thirsty actually pretty quickly. They kind of stole the mechanic from Dayz, obviously, which stole it from Dayz. So I guess it kind of all loops back around. And that's this number right here, 18. When that goes down to 1, or when it goes down to 0, you'll start dehydrating. When it goes down to 1, you really need to find like something fast. And anything that's in a bottle will give you hydration. So that included that energy drink y'all saw. That was, I could have drank that and got dehydrated, or I could have gotten hydrated because of it. So that's good. That means there's a wide variety of things that can keep you hydrated. However, there are certain areas on the map, as you can imagine, where there is a lack of water. So it's always good to stock up and not just hope that you'll find it at some point. So let's look around here for a little bit. Some cars. We're obviously in a parking lot of some type. Oh, somebody died here. I'm gonna pick it up. Somebody died near a hospital. Break these down. Pull out the old gun here. Make sure no one's coming from anywhere. So even though I'm basically full, I'm gonna get a drink here. I'm gonna fill up this bottle too, just as an extra. Alright. And now this map is pretty big. I would say it's roughly 2/3 the size of the Dayz map. So actually probably 3/4 the size. Pretty close. Did I miss anything? If you see this book here, I'll go into this later. Just kind of leave them because they're useless, or very useless early on, unless you want to read it. But you won't get much from it. So as it gets dark here, I might have to light it up in editing. If not, we'll see. I plan on using shaders later at some point. Probably overclock my PC and get high frames with shaders. Hopefully it'll look nicer. But for now, tutorial episodes, keeping things bare basic, alright? And I hope y'all can respect that. So, break things down. So, I'm gonna kill this guy. I'm gonna go up here. Leave that guy there. If you don't really want to kill zombies unless you have to. Alright, so here we are, looking in the old inventory here. Let's do a little rundown, shall we? So first thing is a cure. Now there is a zombie infection in the game, and you can get infected. And when you do, you will get hungry and poisoned, and you'll get it every like 15 seconds. You'll get a burst of it, and you will die. You'll go down to half a heart, and you'll need so much food that you will die unless you get the cure. However, there is an alternative to the cure, and I will explain actually a few alternatives to the cure later on in this tutorial. But for now, basic one, main one you'll come across is just a cure. Already went over water. Now bandages. When you are hit by zombies, there's I forget the exact amount, but it's probably roughly a 10% by zombie hits, and my guess is probably a 50% by gunshots, that you will get a bleeding effect, I believe it's called. Yeah, I think it's just bleeding. Which basically means you slowly take damage, and it's really not that bad. It's more of a, you don't really have to heal a bandage wound. It's a heart every like 10 seconds, which if you're high on medical supplies, you'll be fine. You don't need to patch yourself up real quickly, but it is something that will kill you eventually if you do not, use a bandage. And they're pretty easy to craft. In fact, I'll show how to craft one now. All you really need to do is that, and there you have a bandage. So it's pretty simple. It's not hard. Next thing over, splint. Obviously, you can break your leg. It's basically the same thing as bleeding. It's the same effect, and you just use a splint to do that. In fact, I can show it now real quick. Let's put a pin in that real quick. Blood bag. So actually, quite curiously, I found a blood bag. Didn't think I'd find one. Tokens, I'll explain those later. You can make a cure using blood bags, which is basically the way to, that's what the blood bags are for. You can heal a friend with a blood bag, or you can make a cure using an empty, man, there is just so many zombies here. Let me kill these guys real quick. Actually, I'm getting hit from behind. Let me test out yield kitchen knife so I can show you guys. So a little faster. Alright, so now you've seen that. Tokens again, I said I'll explain. There we go. Alright. Tree branch. Two things to craft here. So, at the top of the building here, or at least as high up as I can get. So, to craft the splint, it's just one tree branch, which you can get from breaking leaves, which is pretty simple, and 2 rags, 1 splint. And then blood transfusion kits, put it with an empty bottle, there we go, got a cure. Alright, so, now, I'm thinking, I just want kind of a bird's eye view as to where we are. Now, I bet y'all are probably wondering, what are these weird things on the side of the building? So, one cool aspect about this server that I haven't ever really delved into, but I could if I wanted to, and might actually just for the sake of video making, or maybe not, is you can build. So, those sticks, if you get 9 of them, you can put them into a crafting table, which again, kind of like mine, they're pretty rare, and make 1 block. Now you can make stronger blocks made of iron and titanium, and the tiers go up for how strong blocks get, but the basic level is a wood block. So these are just like wood frames basically, and you can break them, and they take about 30 seconds to break with your hand, take about 15 with a pickaxe, and there are drills which you can use to break different kinds of blocks. So yeah, pretty simple block breaking mechanics, nothing really too crazy. So you can store stuff actually, and chests respawn every 15 minutes or so. So you can't store anything in a chest because it'll get deleted probably actually sooner than that. However, you can store things. This is an iron block, by the way, a good representation. These you cannot break with your hands or a pickaxe. It takes a drill, and the drill recipe is pretty tough. So that's something that's a little bit later game. I'll show you guys how to make one of those. But for now, we don't have one. You can also make tents to store items. So, and that tents will stay permanently until somebody else breaks them. That's good. Police pants, wire cutters. I'll take those. Take the pants. So, yeah, you can store items in this game, and trust me, we'll get to a point and I'll start telling you guys about some things that you're really going to want to store. Here we are. So, you see this taser, I don't know who put it there or how long it's been there, but, yeah. So, you can store stuff infinitely in here. If anybody wants it, a sleeping bag. Actually, I'll just show you guys here how to use this. I'll put rotten flesh in here, potato, do a little drop. You can't use really potatoes. You have to cook them. Actually, you know what? I'll keep it just to demonstrate that. Concussion grenade. All this stuff I can show you guys. So, I guess I'll just leave those in there. So, this taser is actually kind of interesting that I found this. So, this is a melee weapon, but it's technically considered a secondary. So, and I already have a secondary. So, this zombie, if you'll come down here. Now, it's not very useful against zombies, because zombies aren't really affected by tasers, so I don't think you can actually kill a zombie with it. But what it does is, it slows enemies down. So you see how he's real slow now? He'll stay like that for a little while, then it's back. And I don't know what it does to humans, but I think it just slows them. Maybe does a little bit of damage, but nothing crazy. So, we're going to get rid of it for now. Because if I see somebody, I don't plan on slowing them down. I plan on killing them. So, you know. So we're going to get rid of that. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you guys, since I have it, I'll show you sleeping bag. Sleeping bag's a good idea. Shoes, arrows, take them in case I find a bow. We're going to go up to the top of this building, look for some loot, and if not, I'll demonstrate the sleeping bag. There's different chest types. C is civilian, P is police, A is army, X is like a biological warfare type chest, and M is medical. So, civilian, you find civilian stuff. I mean, they're all pretty self-explanatory. The biological weapons, you can find like throwable potions, you can find gas mask, you can find fuel, you can find a whole bunch of stuff in those. Those are the ones that are a little complicated. But yeah, generally they're kind of self-explanatory, and I'm sure in the next episode I'll delve more into chests and such, just a general overview of that stuff, but for right now we're just kind of explaining things. So I'll take leather, rope, and a pitchfork. Alright, so we are at the top of this building now. So here's a good place to... Oh, actually, no, we're not. We can jump up here. Now we're at the top of the building. We got a great bird's eye view, and this is why Optifine, this is a prime example as to why Optifine's good. So, if there was somebody at this hospital, the player render is, I believe, 12 or 4. Actually, it might be 16 chunks. So somebody could be all the way, even past the edge, right? I turned my distance down a little bit, just for recording, at least for the beginning. I could probably turn it back up now. But someone could be in the mist right there, and they could be shooting at me, and I could shoot back at them with a sniper. So it's really useful to have Optifine, which is why I have it. So basically what a sleeping bag is you can have a total of 2 homes, at least early on. The first one is your own private home, which is a sleeping bag. So I'm going to make I'm going to set it down. All you have to do is right click with a sleeping bag, which you can find in civilian chests, and it'll set your home, and you can use /home about every 20 minutes. Now it seems like a lot, but you probably won't use it that much, quite frankly. You really only use your home if you set it somewhere for looting, or if you set it somewhere at the top of a building for sniping. Like on my counterattack, I have it set on top of a really high building in probably the biggest town, just for sniping, for fun. So I'm gonna set it here, show you guys I'll put it right here on the circle, and bam, home set to my current location. So we can test that by just doing this /home, and it'll bring us back. So we wait 10 seconds. Obviously, if you're in combat, if you're shot by anybody, or you're taking damage of any kind, you're not allowed to teleport. So you can't just leave a fight, obviously. They weren't stupid when they implemented it. So, yeah, good on that front. Now, second thing, wire cutters. So wire cutters are good for 3 things. 1, disabling landmines. 2, obviously, cutting wire. And 3, I'll show you guys down here. Actually, show you right here. And yeah, you find rocks in chests or by breaking grass, and you can throw them to break windows and hurt zombies, but they're not that effective. I usually just use them for breaking windows. So it takes this long to break leaves and stuff, to get sticks, let's say to build these kind of things, right? You see there's a lot of them, right? And we have yet to find one in chests, which you can find them in chests, but it's pretty rare. So how most people get them is doing this, right? And it's so much faster. And the leaves respawn after, I think it's like 5 minutes or so. So you don't have to worry about, destroying everything. So there you go. I've got 1 block in about 5 seconds of cutting down leaves. I didn't even try. Oh, I've got more. Anyway, so you guys see how that works. I'll hop in here actually. So yeah, pretty simple, really. Not that complicated. P99. So, first gun that we found in a chest. Now, how this works. There are tons of secondaries and even more primaries. And so every gun has its ups and downs, obviously. So, M9 is probably the weakest, if one of the weaker guns. It's certainly not the worst, but it's just like a middle-of-the-road pistol for the most part. And it holds 10 rounds. However, the P99, here I'll show you guys. Also, you want to aim in, scope in when you aim, so that you don't, your bullets don't go in random directions, because they will. So it's perfect. We have 2 zombies. So, like I said, you left click to aim in. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it takes 4 shots with the M9, right? With the P99, it only takes 3, and sometimes it only takes 2. So now we're out of ammo, which, yeah, it's not a big deal. Alright, so y'all understand, basically, it shouldn't be too complicated. Different guns have different damages, and some guns are really good, some guns suck really bad, and the M9's fine. Alright, this is actually a perfect, you know what, not a bad example. Alright, so I've been bitten, obviously. Now, I'm taking damage, as you can see, get nausea 3, hunger 3, and poison. So, no duh, I don't want to stay like this forever. So, what I'm going to do, simple. Put the cure in my inventory, right click, everything goes away. Now, if you don't, you'll eventually drop down to half a heart, and if you don't constantly eat food, you'll die, because you'll die of, hunger. So, there is that. So, next, if I could break my leg at some point, that'd be nice. Right, noodles don't have much, and different foods obviously have different values. Crackers don't do much. Can of leftovers don't do much. Yeah, for the most part, the best food in the game is the MRE. But those are pretty rare, especially down south. They're pretty much impossible to get down here until you go to a military area. So we're gonna ignore that for now. Now, we're going to keep looting, and hopefully I'll find some other things to bring up, but yeah. Alright, so I'm back, and I see this guy. Now, here's a good time to show you guys. So, to get ammo out of a gun that already has ammo in it, you type /ammo, and then you can click this to unload bullets, or you can shift click to unload all of it. Now, since I have this P99, I'm going to throw out this M9, since you can't have 2 secondaries in your inventory for more than... You can't have them at the same time, right, in your inventory. So, now another thing I'm going to show you guys real quick, because I might need them to kill that guy, is medical gauze. And you get it by doing that. And you'll find medicine throughout the world, obviously. It's not hard to come by. And it'll get you gauze, which you can left click to use. Now, let's go track this guy down. And I can maybe in depth show you guys the mechanics a little better, if I can find them. Now, gonna want to keep these out. Actually, drink, so I'm not dying of dehydration during a fight. So, my guess is he's probably in a hospital right now. Yup. Because, like I said, that's just where most people end up going first. Now, this guy doesn't see that I'm here. So, that gives us the upper hand. I don't know the right way to go up. But I'm clearly not doing it here. Now, I doubt this guy has all that much because it seems like he just spawned in. Alright, so ran out of ammo. He had a baseball bat. And I missed the first one because I scoped in. Well, died, but you know. So now, if it had been 20 minutes, I could slash home, spawn back, and try to kill that guy. But for now, we're gonna do this. So, we spawned at a town that I've been here before, and don't really want to go there, but I think I'm gonna have to. So, sledgehammer, remote explosives, these suck, by the way, so. So this is the city of Drydale. It sucks. Pretty bad, actually. I really don't like it because it's really hard to find chests here. This is like the definition of a war-torn town. Yeah, like look at this. Every building only has about 1 chest. So, as you can imagine, sucks. There is a crafting table here, however. Oh, there's also a book and quill which you can use to write your own little story, I guess. I found that interesting when I first started playing. I'm like, that's kind of funny. You could write like a little, I don't know, story, I guess. Alright, so got some food, that's good. Is there food in this other chest? Nah, it was too late now. A bow, got some pants, shank. I'm sure I'll use the shank. I'm sure I'll end up using it. Yeah, and the texture pack is pretty fun too. Whoever made the textures did a half decent job to give them a little bit of credit. I like that, the little post-it notes on the wall. There's some cool stuff, and not all of it's like very common. There's some posters that, I don't know, like boarded up windows and stuff that just look cool, but they don't utilize them all that much, so it's kind of sad. Looks like somebody blocked up the DPD. Don't know what the DPD entails, but you know what? Climb up we shall. Now, I'm going to explain credits. So, how this server works is it has a credit system and a ranking up system. And you can rank up, and basically when you rank up, you get different perks. You can spawn in with different guns. And I think probably the biggest one, there are some kind of EULA breaking things, especially considering you can buy tokens. But you can use /heal, you can TPA, stuff like that. Now, believe it or not, /heal is not useful on here, because if you're in a gunfight, /heal is, I mean, you can't type /heal if you're in the middle of a gunfight and have it be more effective than just like using a medical gauze. All right, it's more efficient to just use one of these because you can have them in your inventory. So /heal is really not a big deal. The TPA is good for getting to people if you want to, but again, there's a 20-minute cooldown on that, so you can't really abuse it. None of the perks you get are all that big from ranking up, but it's just to look cool, you know, like Overlord you see in chat there. But the biggest thing I would argue that you get from ranking up is the ability to sell more items on the black market. Now, while we're looting up, I guess I'll explain the black market. So basically, how this server works in terms of economy is you can have, like I said before, you can save items in chests, or, well, you can't save them in chests, but you can save them in compartments or furnaces or anything that's not a chest or one of these crates, and it'll save your gear. And there's also, in the war zone, you get a chest which you can save items in. So you get pretty much just one chest worth of space, and that's it. So you can store guns and armor and weaponry and all this and that in there, and that's how, you know, that's how you keep the gear that you loot. So that way, if you die, you don't lose everything, right? So basically, people can sell things on the black market. So tokens are the currency in game, and you can basically use them to buy ammo, sell ammo, buy guns, and really that's all that sells is guns and ammo, because food and stuff is really not that necessary. But there are other things, like tents, for example, sell more storage, and things can get pretty expensive on the black market, but that's because it's a black market and all. And so I would recommend for anybody like who wants to do anything involving the market, I would say steer clear for at least the first couple ranks that you have before you start doing anything crazy. Just because you kind of want to get a feel of the game before you start delving into it. Otherwise, it starts to feel like a trading simulator game if you spend too much time buying and selling gear, and it kind of loses the fun. So I would say ignore the market until you start needing tokens to rank up. Then you can start using the market. That's how I did it. I had a lot of fun doing it that way. I recommend you do the same. So before I end the episode, I will do the first thing that I can do with my 103 credits, and that is rank up to the level of, I believe it's Journeyman. So right now, in chat, y'all can see I'm just a mere survivor. So that's like the noob rank, right? So what you want to do to rank up, once you have enough credits, and there is in the lobby, you can see the amount for every rank. You type rank up. First one's 100, I remember that. So, are you sure you want to rank up to Explorer for $100? Yup, I do. So there we go. I ranked up for the first time, and now I'm an Explorer, this cool blue color. So, there we go. Well, on that note, I'm going to end this episode. I will be seeing you guys very shortly, as I'm going to keep this recording going. Just going to cut up a few of these first few episodes into like a tutorial series, and then we'll get started really having fun in the game. Maybe talking with other people, maybe just talking about life, you know, doing whatever. So, that's it. Y'all have a good one. Thank you for watching. If anybody has anything they want to say to me, tell me in the comments if you made it this far. Doubt it, but if you did, let me know in the comments if you want to see more, actually, because I know it's real cringy to hear people say that on YouTube, but I'm like actually genuinely interested. So, yeah. Hope you guys have a good one. Bye.